So hey guys, my name is Arvind and I'm going to talk about use case, which is very generic use case like a currency converter. And this use case has been used in multiple big application like in finance, or you can say mining, where you have a lot of calculations and you have to calculate a lot of amounts. So there we just used to take kind of a calculator and what are the currency converter, what are the rates for the current exchange rate. So I have come up with a kind of a solution into UiPath Apps plus you can say integrated with Web Studio. So these apps particularly is talking about how you can convert currency from one currency to another currency, and this will be a kind of a live rate, I can say, and it will be taking a live rate from the API and backend through Web Studio. So let me show how I have built these applications. So let me go to kind of a Web UiPath Cloud, and then in UiPath Cloud, I have gone into your apps, and then I have created an apps like a currency converter. So you can see my apps here. I have created one main page, and in main page I have kind of containers for headers and everything. And then I have created a details container, and in details container I have a from currency to currency amount and results, and then I have one button, and then I have expression just to show the current rate. So if you can see here in from currency and to currency, I have just used a kind of a lookup for country. And this lookup has a rate plus, you can say currency plus country name. And then I have sorted by ascending order. So you can see by ascending order the country name. And then similar, I have to currency, and in to currency, I have done the similar things. And in columns, I have just displaying the name of the country. And then we have amount, and in amount I'm just entering what amount you want to convert from currency to currency, and by default I have given 1. So every time when you select from to 2, then it will take 1 and it will convert in the result. So you can see results here. Okay, and then I have a convert buttons, and on convert button I'm just calling a process, and then process will return me the results. I will show you how it works. So I have created one process into UiPath Web Studio, and in UiPath Web Studio, let me go to the Web Studio and show you. I have actually currency converter. Basically, I'm using as a template. There is a template, lot of templates. So I have used a kind of a get latest exchange rate via HTTP request. So I'm just using this template and little bit modification I can say I have done here. So I have created one project as currency converter, and then in currency converter you can see I have a HTTP request, and then doing data extraction, and then setting the exchange rate, and then returning the result back. So we have a kind of a currency arguments, in and out arguments. So we have an in arguments, and then we have out arguments. So in arguments, I do have a kind of two in argument, like one is like currency and from currency. So what currency to what currency you want. So from currency to currency, and then what is the current exchange rate as an output. So you can see as out, I'm returning it back. And these two are like in currency. This is to currency, and this is from currency. Okay. So this basically this API is a API exchange host. Basically, if you go in here, so we have exchange generate host, and this is kind of an API. And by using this API, we are generating the exchange rate. So basically, in this one, we are passing request URL, and then we are passing the base exactly what exactly you want to convert, and then you can see here like this is the request URL and API exchange.rate and latest rate. This is kind of method we are getting latest, and then in the argument parameters I'm just passing base. Base is something from which currency, and symbols like a to like what exactly you want to convert. So from currency to currency I'm passing, and then just some parameters and everything, and then there is no authentication for this one, and then returning as an output, and output has like a response content, response status, response header, response attachment, and everything. So all the results will come into response content, and if you have any failure or success and everything, it will comes under the response status and headers and everything. So I'm just passing kind of a parameters from which currency to what currency you want to convert. And then I'm just extracting the JSON object. Like I'm just kind of this one, like if you go here to additional object option and output. So this is response content. So this API will give me the response as the output. And then we have a prepare the data extraction, so you can pass the JSON of the object JSON, and then you can convert it and you can extract it. So basically it is passing a JSON string, and then JSON string is converting a JSON object, and it is parsing the data and converting. And then what we have to do, it is kind of deserialization and serialization. So now we got it, and now we have to just get the value from deserialized object, right? So now what we have to do, like we have an exchange rate, and then convert to a toggle, and then deserialize generic, and then you can see this one, like convert to double map deserialize generic JSON dot selected token, and what is the rate, and then selected token dot currency dot to a string. So basically this will give us like a current rate of the currency, and then you will then exchanging and storing into out argument current exchange rate, and then this will return as a result. So now I will go to my process, and in my process, what I've done, like I go to orchestrator, and in orchestrator, I can go and add the process. So basically I have just published this, and once I publish this one, so let it publish. So once this got published, so you know, like into orchestrator in Web Studio, when you published a new process, it comes under your workspace. So let it open. So you can say my workspace. In my workspace, I have a process and this process. So now what I'm doing, now what I'm trying to do here, go to orchestrator. And then I added the process. So I can go here and go to process, and I can add the process. Either you can replace the process. So I have, you can see here, I have this one and my workspace, and I'm adding this process. And by this process, I have a store. You can say here input and output. So you can see here two input, currency and from currency, and then this is output, which is current exchange rate. Okay. So now coming back to the details container. So I have two currency, from currency, and then amount and results. And then I have convert buttons. And this is kind of expression where I'm showing one from currency, what is the two currency rate, current rate, right? So in convert, what I have done, I have edit rules. And then if you see here, I have added a spinner visibility. So it tells like currently a spinner in progress, so whatever operation is in progress. So we have a kind of a start process. So I'm calling this process as link current converter, currency converter, and then I'm just calling as a unattended process, and then I'm passing currency from currency. So what I'm doing, I have a from currency, and then to currency, and then I'm just taking this currency value from the selected object, and then similarly to currency, selected object currency. So basically I'm passing from to currency, from currency and to currency. And then when I started, nothing. And when completed, what I'm doing, I'm just getting the result back. So if you see here, this process has output parameters, which is current exchange rate. So it will return me the current exchange rate. So it comes current exchange rate here, and I'm just creating a app variables, which is I'm just returning into app variable that is called p result. So I'm setting a value for app result, app variable p result, and then this is output of the process, right? Then what I'm doing, this is kind of result text. So I need to just make, if you are just entering $2, $3, and whatever amount. So I need to just give you the exact value, how much it will be calculated amount, right? So what I'm trying to do here, let me show you. So what I'm trying to do, I'm setting the results, which is called result text. And then I'm doing a kind of a calculation here, which is multiplication. So I'm just doing P result into amount text. So this is called whatever exchange rate I'm getting back from the process into whatever amount you have entered into amount text. So this will give me a total result, total amount of the value of the amount text, right? And then just a spin off a spinner. And then in some case, if you have any errors, you can just put here like show hide a spinner, and then I can turn off the spinner. Okay. So this is kind of one. And then here into this expression, basically what I'm doing a concatenate. So one, and then what is the rate of the $1? You assume if you enter $5, then it will give you the result 5 into current rate equal to total value. But I want to see the total value plus $1 rate. So what I have done, why just put one data label here. On data label, I'm just doing a concatenate. So in concatenate one space, what is the currency from currency, and then space equal to result, which is coming from the process, equal to currency. So it will give you, like if you select dollar to INR, so $1 equal to whatever amount INR, right? So let's go and run this process. So what I do, I just go and preview it now. So in this preview, you can see from currency to currency. So what I go and select like United States of America, and then I select India, and I say $10, right? So what will be the result? I will convert it. I will go and click there. So conversion in progress now. So you can see this is running a process into background, and then background process will give me a result back, and then it will set into result. So now you can see 10 into 81.97, which give me 819.74834 kind of INR, right? So basically this is giving me 1 USD is equal to 81.974834 INR current value of the dollar, right? Thank you for the watching.